Start with in-person questions first for Coach.
You made Marcus okay?
Yeah, sinus issue had been bothering him a little bit and flared up during the game. He also got hit in the head, one time, but that had nothing to do with it. He has some sinus issues going on and it kind of flared up late. Should be okay. Anticipate.
You talked obviously about getting Derek and Daniel going. What did you like about, especially that in that first? They kind of helped you guys really kickstart the run, and then obviously taking up the second quarter, just getting a lot of the bench.
Yeah, I felt like we've seen that trend a little bit in the last few games. And it's just a concerted effort on my part, obviously, to get Daniel in there a little bit more. Al and Rob play extremely well at times. You'd like to get one of those guys back in, but we understand the importance of Daniel going forward. And Derek, obviously, what he does for the team. So it's not just those guys. Peyton and Grant are great as well. And so those two being the new guys, we're just trying to find the minutes, trying to find them longer stretches, and take a look at them with different lineups. And they've been great on this whole road trip. Just the bench in general for playing like that, what kind of lifted it? Yeah, I mean, obviously Jason still had big nights. Yeah. That's the point. It's finding any chance you can to limit some minutes, but also instill that confidence in those guys. So the better they play, obviously, the more of a boost it gives us as a team all around, but them individually as well. And shaving those minutes down is going to be crucial late in the season. So important in several different ways, but they've been playing great this trip, and I think you can see them all becoming more comfortable since the trade.
Coach, your defense has been strong pretty much all season. The offense is starting around this year. What are some of the things that you see your guys doing a better job of now that maybe they weren't doing quite as good a job as maybe with normal football?
Quick recognition of mismatches, just quick decisions in general. I think teams are really guarding Jason a certain way, and it frees up other guys, Jalen as well. And so when they bring Jokic and their bigs up to kind of take them out of the game, I think our bigs have done a great job finding the pocket and getting the numbers behind it, the 4-on-3s a lot of times. And then when we put the smalls in the action, they're doing a great job of reading how they're being defended. Sometimes they're rolling, sometimes they're popping, but they're making plays. And then at times JB and JG can just beat them. So the playbook has opened up quite a bit, especially with the additions. We love Derek and Marcus and Peyton being playmakers with the ball, but also their screening frees up a lot because their playmaking ability behind it, their shooting.
And just one question about your defense. Jokic did not have a Jokic length and efficient shots taken. It didn't have that many assists. What's the key when you have a player like that who does so many things well, but not allowing you to really do any of those things?
Physicality, and he was comfortable early. I think he had 12 in that first quarter. After that, only 4 in the second, and then 7 the rest of the way. So it's that he was too comfortable early, gave him too much airspace on the perimeter and in the post. Just stood behind him, got rolled a few times. But it's just mixing up the looks, keeping them off balance, switching matchups as well, giving them different bodies, and then sometimes going after them, understanding when we have the certain lead that we don't want to open other things up and making them score. And so credit to our guys, even when he did have that 12 early, he was shooting a poor percentage, and we didn't allow him to get other guys going, which makes them that much more difficult to beat.
Did it throw you off or surprise you when they went all bench to start the third quarter? Is there anything you tell the guys to make sure they don't play out?
Well, the message coming out of halftime was our last 3 third quarters, we giving up 30 plus, and they got a 32 tonight as well. But even before the bench was in, we want to come out with the same focus that we had in the first half. That's obviously different, but it doesn't change anything for us. It's just trying to give them a spark and a jolt, and they did that to their credit. So the thing I loved about us, we bounced back 3 or 4 times when they made many runs and kind of halted those. And so I think our focus was good all around. Take away that 32-point quarter, but offensively, we were pretty much on point all night.
3 wins last week. That was all well. Is there any worry about maybe peaking a little early? Just
No, because we're doing it, with other guys contributing who we need to, and so they're finding their way as far as that. Starters are playing extremely well, getting off to great starts, but when the bench comes in, there's no letdown, and so that's the main thing. Is their contributions have been great. They're all getting more comfortable and better, and that's why we're really extending those leads, because there's no drop off when they come in. If anything, they're extending the leads, and so I wouldn't say worried about that. There's things you want to fine tune in the rest situation that we talked about, but you take a blowout win as much as you can to try to rest guys, and that means you're playing good basketball. Not worried about peaking too early, honestly.
a lot more Al playmaking out of the high post and mid post tonight. He was kind of drawing doubles over the mid post, just lots of quick ping passes with him. Has he been a big part of the playbook expanding, and what did it take to kind of figure out the best way to utilize this?
Well, we've used him quite a bit in that high post area, this year, especially when Rob goes out and he's at the 5. And so we know what he does as far as that. And the shot threat, they have to come up and leave some stuff open behind it. But a lot has been the double teams, and he finds the pocket and then makes plays out of there. So teams are really going after Jason, whether it's a flat out blitz or, like a corral, and he just rolls and finds the open area for a shot, or obviously making great decisions behind it, especially when Rob's in the dunker. So it's more a lot on the half roll, and he's just being a playmaker out of that. But we've used him high post splits all year long, and that's kind of comes natural for Al.
This is another night with JT getting an MVP chance on the road. There was a huge standing ovation from the crowd at the end of the game. How does it feel for the team, especially late in the season, to get that kind of reception on the road and kind of really excited to go on?
Yeah, I think it shows you're doing some things right, and obviously fans appreciate that regardless. They appreciate great play. Obviously, the amount of Celtic fans in the building was evident on the first basket. You really heard it, but you can see green all through the stands. And so you're playing right. You don't get that if you're not doing some things right. And obviously, guys are playing at a high level. So him and Jalen, getting the 30-30s again. They've been doing that, to some extent lately. And I think everybody else feeding off them, the crowd as well. It helps us. And our guys are extra motivated tonight to play well. Now we got one to go.
Coach, we have a couple of Zoom questions, please. First from Mark Murphy.
Hey, mate, you guys are winning by some big numbers on the road, and you're doing it consistently right now. I mean, what has gone into you guys just becoming a strong road team?
I do think we, kind of embrace playing against the home crowds. We do have a lot of fans on the road as well, but our thing is be who we are, regardless of at home or on the road. We want to come out and set a tone. And I think getting off to these really good starts defensively, and, teams know what we're about now. The numbers show that. And our thing is to come out and kind of prove that. And so that's the message each and every night against different opponents. One night you're going against Curry and Thompson, and Trae Young and Morant and all these different matchups, but we want to be who we are and be able to adapt to everybody and play a certain way. And so the offense is sharing the ball, great movements, 29 assists tonight, 33 the other night. So that ball's popping and guys are making shots, but defensively setting that tone from the start is the real message night in and night out.
Final Zoom question and final question for you, Coach, is from John Corrales.
Ime, you talk about, you're really opening up the playbook for Tatum and Brown, but how much more can it be opened? I mean, it feels like there are still a lot of possibilities that you can open up just by the way they're playing.
Yeah, honestly, a big piece of it is the guys that are playing with them. And, like I said, when you have Marcus, Derek, Peyton, let alone the bigs that can make plays, that's where you have all the options out of it. So tonight we wanted to attack their bigs to some extent, and then they had some smaller guards. So you got the whole, gamut of what you can go through there. And I think it was all working pretty well. So didn't try to complicate it. Put certain guys in certain actions all night, and really worked for us in the first half. And then we went to some different things in the second half. But credit to Jason and Jalen, continue to be aggressive and make the right plays, but also delivering the ball to guys that can make plays as well or make shots. And so it's a combination of both, them doing what they do, but everybody else being confident and aggressive behind it.
Wrap it up right there. Thank you, Coach.